Good day to all of you. I am Joshua Clarence Colmenar,
And I am Suarez Dan Christopher.
and we are here to present the findings of our study. But first, let us have a recap of what our objectives are. Objectives of the study. General objective. The general objective of this study is to automate the rental process in renting bicycles in DLSUD University, Dasmariñas. Also, to develop a web-based database system of the bike rental for the DLSUD and faculty and students. For our specific objectives, first is to create a database using MySQL for the following. To display and monitor the information about the availability and quantity of the bicycles to the faculty and students. To serve as a compilation of all the transactions done with the system. To create a database similar to the eCash system used by the DLSUD. Second, to create a prototype of an automatic bike parking lock system. To build a kiosk that will act as an end device to the system. To interface a bike parking lock with a database system that will enable the use of the bicycles upon rental. Fifth, to test the speed of communication of the database and the proposed parking system and its functionality. Topics to be discussed. First is the data, then the process of the actual system, the researchers' conclusions, and the researchers' recommendations. Response time test. For our first table, due to the pandemic, we were not able to survey the users, which are the students and the faculty that will use our system. Thus, the data we gathered are from the servo motors and their delays. For the first table, upon renting the bicycle, the time the servo motors move after actuation ranges from 2.359 seconds to 2.377 seconds. For the second table, upon returning the bicycles, the time the servo motors move after actuation ranges from 2.358 seconds to 2.376 seconds. The test indicates that there is a slight delay upon renting and returning a bicycle. The delay is caused by the communication time of the software and the hardware. The proponents also factored in human error that affected testing time, for there may be times at which the human measuring the time it took may have a slight delay on pressing the start and stop of the stopwatch used.
Next, let's move on to the user interface. First, we have our homepage. To use the website for administrator, the administrator will have to click the admin button located in the homepage. After clicking the admin button, the page will load to enter the admin password, which will require the admin to enter the password. If the entered password is empty, an error message will occur that shows please type password. If the entered password of the admin is not the correct password, an error message will again occur and shows incorrect password. If the entered password is now correct, the page will load to the admin page. The admin page consists of changing password, shows the price, changing the price, the user feedback, the bicycle database, and also the user database. Next is changing the price. If the admin want to change the price, you will have to click a text box that shows the current price. If the admin changed the price and entered upload price, which is empty, an error message will show that shows price is required. After the admin entered a value to the text box, the value will then be updated to the database and now be shown on the admin page. Next is the bike availability. The admin has access to change the bike availability when a bike is unavailable or in repair. If the admin pressed a button and not selected a bike, an error will occur and shows the message bike is required. If the admin selects a bike and clicks unavailable, the available bike will now be shown unavailable and cannot be clicked on the user side. Next, if the bike is selected and clicked on available, the unavailable bike will now be available and can now be clicked on renting. Next is entering new bike. If the upload image button is pressed and there is no bike name, an error message will show that the bike name is required. And it will also not be updated on the database. If the admin entered a bike name and also entered an image to be uploaded, then the upload image will be clicked. The database will be uploaded with the image and the name and will be shown on the admin page. The newly uploaded bike is unavailable and can be turned available by the admin on the bike availability. Next is inserting a new user. If the register button is clicked and the text box is empty, an error message will occur on each text box that the value is required. And it will not be updated on the database and not be shown on the admin page. If the admin has entered value on all the text box and clicked register, the database will now be uploaded to the entered values. Next is the search user. If the admin clicked the search button and the text box is empty, the error message will show this field must not be empty. If a student surname is searched and the student surname is not on the database, the page will show that there is no result found and a link to go back to the admin page. If the search student surname is on the database, then the page will show the full name of the student, an update link, and a delete link. Next is the edit bike. To edit a bicycle, the admin will have to click the update button on the bicycle database. If the update button is clicked, a new page will show and the bike name can be edited. If the bike name is empty and the update button is clicked, an error message will occur and the database will not be updated. If the new bike name is now entered on the text box, the database will now be updated with the same image and the new bike name. Next is a delete bike. If the delete button is clicked, a new page will load, confirming if the admin wants to delete the same bike. If the delete button is clicked again, the bike will now be deleted in the database. Next is the edit user. If the admin wants to edit the values of the user, the admin will have to click the update button. If the update button is clicked, a new page will load and shows a form that shows the current values of the user. The admin can now change the data on the user as shown on the images here. If the update button is clicked, the entered data on this form will now update the database and will be shown on the admin page. Next is the delete button. The delete button is clicked. A new page will show confirming if you want to delete the user. After clicking the delete button, the entire data of the user will now be deleted. Next is the viewing transaction history. To view the transaction history, the admin will have to click the transaction history link, which will show another page that shows the transaction history of the entire system. This table shows the transaction number, student number, the bike name, the balance, the time in, and the time out of each transaction, in which shows that the transaction number 1 entered the student number, rented the bike name, bike 1, and the balance is 0 because his time in is 1 o'clock at 9 seconds and time out is 1 o'clock on 26 seconds, which is less than 1 minute. Next is the change admin password. To change the admin password, the admin will have to click the change password link. If the change password link is clicked, a new page will load and shows a form to change the password. This shows 3 text boxes that will have to enter the current password, the new password, and confirm password. If the text box is empty and the update button is pressed, an error message will show that to please enter current password. If the current password is entered and the other 2 text box is empty, a new error message will occur to enter new password and to confirm new password. If the new password and the confirmed password is not the same, an error message will occur that the new password doesn't match. And also, we have a checkbox if clicked, the password entered will show. If the new password and the current password is now the same, and the update button is clicked, the database will now be updated to the new password.
Logging in for students. Login page. Here is the home page of our system, in which you can press the rent or return button. After pressing this, it will load the next page to rent a bike or return a bike. For now, we will rent a bike, and after clicking this, it will show another page where the students can scan their IDs and submit it. Here, the field where the student number must be entered must not be empty. If it's empty, an error message will occur and it will show this field must not be empty. For our next example, here is an invalid student number. If the student number entered is not in our database, a new page will show and it will say no record found. The logging in of students. If you entered the correct student number, it will show you to the next page where a student must enter a password. This is a measure that we took for security purposes. In here, the default password is password. And if you type the wrong password, if you put the wrong password, an error message will show and it will show the default password is password. We put this as a security measure for the students. If you type in the correct password, it will show you to the rent a bike page. Here you can choose between the available. You can only choose available bicycles. Unavailable bicycles cannot be clicked and only available bicycles can be rented. After clicking rent, it will show you back to the home page. Now, for changing the password for students, you click the student change pass of the home page and then type in your student number. Type in the default password. And after typing the default password, it will show you to the next page in which you can change your old password to your new password. In case that the field is empty, an error message will be shown and it will show please enter new password. Here, you can type your new password and you need to confirm it again on the next text box. After confirming it, you can now update it and the password is now changed. For our feedback section, the feedback section is located at the home page. After clicking it, it will send you to the next page in which you can type your own feedback. And after sending your own feedback, you can view it from the admin page. For our conclusions, first, the automated system sped up the whole rental process. It made the current rental system less time-consuming. Second, user-friendly. Because of its interactive UI, the web page is easy to use and easy to follow. The use of banknotes is needless. Each time you rent and return the time, each time you rent and return, the time is recorded to our database and will compute your balance based on the price per minute set by the admin. The history of every transaction of every user is stored and can be viewed by admins. In our transaction history, the admins can view every transaction made within our system. What bike they used, what time did they rent and return. This misses the need of manpower. No human supervision is needed to operate the system. Only a power source for the laptop or PC to be used is needed to power up the whole rental system. Provides a DBMS or database management system. As I've said, the system stores everything that is happening on the system, from storing the admins and students' accounts to storing every transaction happening. Security of accounts for the students and admins. Every account is password protected, thus ensuring the safety of accounts of the students and admins. Feedback section is provided. There is a feedback section in which students can send their feedback to the admins, whether it is about faulty bicycles to good system service. For our recommendations. First, in an instance where additional bicycles are needed, an additional MCU is needed with multiple PWM pins. This is because Arduino Uno is limited to only 6 PWM pins, which our current system is only expandable up to 6 bicycles. In the case of addition of multiple bicycles, Arduino Mega or any MCUs that have multiple PWM pins can be used. Second, the researchers recommend to improve the security system by enhancing the durability of the system. This is by installing stronger locks with anti-theft alarm for the bicycle rocks to secure the safety of the bicycles. Third, another security feature is to install security cameras that captures real-time video feed for monitoring and send alerts or notifications when triggered captured image files. Fourth, the researchers recommend to extend the system on mobile devices to be able to rent a bike. Fourth, the researchers recommend to extend the system on mobile devices to be able to rent because the current system is operating on a local host in which people on the same server can only access the system. Fifth, upon deleting a bicycle in the admin page, the deleted bicycle is still in the images folder of the system. Lastly, is to create an interactive notification whenever a bicycle has just been made available. This is for our fourth recommendation, in which the system is extended to mobile devices, and if they want to rent a bike, but sadly all the bicycles are unavailable, a notification will be sent to them when a bicycle is made available. Here is the process of our bike rent. Click return, then rent a bike. Enter your student number using the barcode scanner. I'm going to enter the default password, which is password. Select bike 1 and then rent. As I press rent, the servo motor will have 2-second delay, then it will unlock the bicycle and then lock again. Click rent again to use a different user. I have generated barcodes from online. The default password is password again. As you can see, the first bicycle is now unavailable because the first user has already rented it. The second servo will now unlock the second bicycle. Now, for the third user, we will rent all the bicycles available to check if all the servos are working. As you can see, the two bicycles are now unavailable. And the only available is now bike 3 and bike 4. Third servo has now unlocked the third bicycle. Now for the last bicycle to be rented. Now the only available bike is bike 4. Now I'm going to return the bicycles. User per user. After scanning your ID, you also need to put your password to return the bike. After that, it will show your balance on how long have you rented your bicycle. Now I'm gonna do it for the 3 students. The second user's total balance is now 1. If you notice, the first user's total balance is higher. That is because the first user has already a balance in his account. Down to the last user. All the servos are working from renting a bicycle to returning a bicycle. Now, that is all for our video presentation. Thank you and God bless.